Two runners facing off. These are actually very highly competitive runners, so it should be a very good match today.
Yep, so we've got Hitsuyan1337 versus coolpapabell2282. This is battle of the 4-digit numbers. No, I'm kidding. But both players starting from Link's house, getting a full heart to start with. I mean, certainly not going to say anything wrong with free hearts.
Now, if that's the Sankar, I guess we'll never know.
That is true.
All right, looks like Hitsu is taking his favored route. Going from Link's house, he's going to take this portal from Fake Footprint, and then he's going to go visit the witch's hut, check out what entrance that is, and then most likely try and do a hula hand after he crosses this river here.
Yeah. So Cool Papa kind of did a double take here. He saw Super Bunny Cave here at Hyrule Castle, turned around, then realized, wait a minute, no, this is the back entrance. I can just go in and come back out.
That's right.
Looks like the old man's home is at the and okay, my words just got tangled up, but we got the old man's home at the potion shop, but we found the lamp in Super Bunny Cave, and so if Cool Papa Bell heads over there, he could just go back through the back of the uncle's cave if he wants. I mean, the uncle's cave, the old man's cave. Words are hard.
Hey, looks like Hitsu found Ganon at the useless fairy drop. Alright, so at least no Agatu to find Ganon. We still may defeat Agatu for whatever's behind that entrance, but certainly not required so far in order to beat the game.
Yeah, it's certainly not strictly required today. At least from the knowledge we have to begin with. It looks like we've got bombs from a tree pole, which is about the best thing you want to see in cross keys. Really, any randomizer, I want to see bombs from a tree pole.
Yeah, definitely early resources, especially in cross keys, is extremely helpful. Hitsu getting a nice full magic drop there. No weapon to be able to use that magic with, but when he does eventually pick something up, it'll be ready for him.
All right, Cool Papa pulls out the big key of Thieves Town, along with a scrap of toilet paper. And the big key of Ganon's tower and the flippers.
Wow! I mean,
well, I hope Cool Papa Bell wasn't planning on hula-handing anytime soon.
That is actually an excellent point. Right now, because he did pick up the flippers, he is not able to do the normal opening the hula hand that Hitsu was able to do. Now, he can still hula hand from somewhat less traditional methods, but he needs like a glove. So, for example, if he wants to do hula hand from the back of escape entrance or drop down.
Ooh. So you want to talk bunny shenanigans for a bit?
All right, I'm listening.
Because the sanctuary is turning out to be at the pyramid today, which means, one, you get bunny shenanigans. You can actually run over and check a few more entrances from here. And two, you get access to once you get the mirror, you get the access to the top of the castle. And that also means you might have to beat Ganon's tower to get the back of escape, which is dumb.
Well, I mean that was very anticlimactic, cool, Dr. Bob. I mean, I didn't want to hear that last part.
Well, it's like I gotta give you the good news first.
Oh, that's true. So we still have a lot of big keys too, and assuming these guys, once they find Hera, it'll definitely be a nice big chest that they don't have to leave behind.
Yeah. So Cool Papa has located Misery Mire at the South Kakariko chest game, and the race game has the Cane of Brian. Hello, Brian.
Certainly a very nice safety to have, especially early on, and also a very formidable weapon. However, it's not quite accessible currently as of yet because of cross keys. can't just, bomb open like that one entrance and then go to the race cube directly. You will need to find either connector or mirror there from the Dark World.
All right, so Magic Bat turns out to be vanilla today. Oh, and there's the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Hitsu found Hookshot Cave. So this is, so once these guys find Hookshot, it'll be a lot more, not only accessibility but also just items. I think Hitsu most likely forgot that he had the flippers. Probably would have been nicer if he could have just hopped in and then hopped right back.
All right, Blacksmith only moved a little bit. And he's going to put those flippers to use and go to our good old hobo today.
All right, Hitsu finding connector, choosing not to take it. Looks like he's going to explore some more in Kakariko first.
Oh, ooh, the hobo having the Hyrule Castle small key is actually huge.
Yeah, yes. Please go on, Dr. Bob. Tell me the good news now.
Because now it makes it much, much less likely that you'll have to do anything regarding beating Ganon's Tower to get to the back of Escape, like I was talking about a minute ago. And it puts all of those chests in logic, assuming you can find an entrance to Hyrule Castle. Wow.
Yeah,
this is a lot of big keys.
I think we found more big keys than small keys currently.
Yeah, something like that. Big key of Ice Palace found in Blind's Hut, which today was at the tavern, turns out. And that was the Dark Sanctuary. Now, a while back when the hints were new, the developers for the entrance randomizer put in a little time trying to put together hints for this, and they added hints to places like the Dark Sanctuary, where there's a guy who would sell you information. That's not a thing in this, but it's kind of interesting to know.
Yes, and the guy at Dark Sank, I believe he refills your hearts if you talk to him as well.
He does. He does charge you 20 rupees to do so, but he does refill your hearts.
There is no such thing as a free refill these days.
So, yeah, I know at least one of the runners here is not broadcasting game audio. I think. Yeah, it looks like neither runner is actually broadcasting game audio, so we can't actually provide that for you, unfortunately. I could try to, improvise it on my own, but I don't think you guys would appreciate that too much.
We'll just wait for hopefully when they find the flute.
Okay.
And we did actually see coolpapabell picking up bombos from the lumberjack drop. So he has quite a bit of fire here. He still will need a sword in order to use bombos.
That is true. The bombos medallion, all the medallions, require some sort of sword to activate, as well as a quarter of the magic in a normal magic bar. And hello, Thieves Town. So you remember we picked up the Thieves Town big key. We also just picked up a sword in the front of Thieves Town. That means we could, theoretically, beat Thieves Town right now with 4 hearts and green mail. You on board with that plan?
Me specifically having to play this game, no. These runners, however, I think have the potential to do so.
Yeah. Especially since they did pick up a cape in Blind's Hut. So that would probably make it a little bit easier. Cape strats on blind can make it pretty easy to do. Now, the problem is you're going to be leaving behind a chest. Period. Unless somehow you find both the small key to Thieves Town and the hammer along the way. Good luck with that.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a minor chance.
So, do we actually get a temporal high five there from both our runners? Cool Papa Bell being in Thieves Town and Hitsu was in Blindside.
There's that. We did also find that potion shop, which is important if you find the mushroom to know where that is. It's down in the bottom left corner of Kakariko Village, hiding in the bomb hut.
Also could be useful when they find their first bottle. If they ever want a safety, it's a pretty convenient, and especially if they buy the flute later, it's a pretty convenient flute back to Kakariko.
So Cool Papa here decided to use the cape to get through the Hellway, which not a bad idea, to be fair.
It definitely really makes you appreciate the boots when you're doing this dungeon without them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Bugnet, what's up?
That is my favorite item to get in Crosskeys.
Oh yeah, we're in the light world, so those crickets are rats. Like they deal a quarter of a heart of damage, and you can kill them in one slash, instead of dealing 2 hearts of damage and they take 3 or 4. Yeah, they also make the sound of the rats. That is true.
Cool Papa Bell, remembering that he does not have the gloves.
I was gonna say, hardest trick in the game, right there. Not lifting that block when you don't have the gloves.
Oh man, these berries.
This room.
Excellent of that cape.
There is a small magic jar in here under the lower left pot if he wants it. There's a drop that he just passed up. Okay.
Looks like he is confident in his way back as well as his scripted blind fight.
All right. My play here would be like, I might as well grab the maiden. I'll probably die on the way or I'll die at blind, but I'll take it anyway. That's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah, and really, once he drops off the maiden, even though if he dies and he comes back, it won't be scripted anymore. He's at least done like the long parts of the dungeon. He doesn't have to bring the maiden back again.
Yeah, I think clearing out Thieves Town as much as you can, given the fact that you find the sword here, is probably a good call. Oh, nicely done for Cool Papa Bell. And just gets a piece of heart for his trouble, but that is a crystal. 1 down, 6 to go.
And certainly based on past tendencies, I know that Cool Papa Bell likes to tend to dive dungeons early and just clear out as much as he can. So this is certainly consistent. As Hitsu is going to make his way through Thieves Town, looks like Cool Papa Bell is going to make his way into the Lost Woods, and should probably check out the Thieves Hideout dropdown and the mushroom spot.
The script recommends using the sword and not your face. Yes, that is true. Yeah, so Cool Papa Bell has not found Ganon yet. He has not been over to the potion shop entrance yet, so he's doing the thing where you go in the front door of all the entrances of all the drop downs until you find Ganon. You know.
Yeah, that looks like actually our bushcraft. Oh wow, okay. I was gonna say our bushcraft had a full magic drop, so that could be handy later. But
it could be handy right now.
Yeah. We don't have any.
Or you could just be good at laser skips. Who does that? Anyway.
Actually, Laser Bridge is actually fully in logic with that cape. Oh,
I mean, in entrance, it's in logic without the cape.
Yes, the entrances is in logic certainly. The 4 chests here makes it.
No, I mean in the entrance logic does not care. It just assumes you can laser skip. Oh, really? Maybe I'm making that up.
Yeah, I think in entrance it still follows V30 logic. So I think that's part of the.
I could have swore A took that out way back before it was even a thing in V31. Maybe I'm making that up. Good Lord. That's a glove right there. Yeah. Yeah, theoretically, Cool Papa Bell could have just kept going.
And maybe he didn't feel, I don't know, either comfortable keep going, or maybe he thinks that there are other, because he has the glove, he has the boots, there are other parts of the world that he wants to explore first.
Yeah, and I mean there's likely to be other Turtle Rock entrances you can find. So it's not outside the realm of possibility, but it is. You kind of do want to check that out as much as you can.
Hitsu is not too far behind Cool Papa Bell in this arc of progression here. He will be able to pick up his boots relatively soon, along with that glove.
I believe we did get one Turtle Rock small key as well. So in theory, he could go literally to the entrance. There's a moon pearl.
I'm so disappointed. Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
what? Early moon pearls. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Ball.
Funny shenanigans is what I'm sad about.
We're very like-minded. I was gonna say that, at 18, 19 minutes in, they find the moon pearl. I mean, certainly good for these runners because they make things, a lot more efficient. But for us, like, I want to see funny shenanigans.
Oh, Hitsuyan not even going on to the glove. That's going to be unfortunate for Hitsuyan. And it looks like Aga 1 is blocking precisely nothing. Cool Papa Bell finds a connector behind his house under some rocks. To the most obscure entrance in the game, and you don't even have to mirror to it. What kind of game is this? Since when do you not have to mirror to that location?
But you only have to mirror there when there's something extremely important there.
I like the abbreviation there. All right, so checking the dam entrance. Full of chickens. Got the Turtle Rock map from the damn chickens. And Hitsuyan is going back into Turtle Rock. He's like, wait a minute, I got the cane in there.
This will certainly be very good for Hitsu.
I guess he wanted to go out and check the other nearby entrances before he had to come back.
Speaking of Turtle Rock, we found another entrance to Turtle Rock. One of the more dangerous ones, but Cool Papa makes it through no issues.
Yeah, so that's actually really nice for Cool Papa because it gives him the excuse to go check these other entrances, not have to worry about it. Cool Papa has the Bombos medallion out, and I expect him to use it. Like right now. There we go.
This is certainly a sign of experience from these runners. They know when to, in this case, wait for the Bombos medallion or longer cutscene, as opposed to try and kill these things, with like the sword.
Yeah, Fighter's Sword against Pokey sounds like a recipe for disaster/vomit.
And particularly dangerous since Pokeys do quite a bit of damage because you at this point are expected to have the blue mail. And more than 5 hearts.
Yeah, the laser wall there, it looks dangerous, but it's actually not all that dangerous if you just like hold right and hug the wall to go up. The good news is if you do take a death, you just entered a dungeon. So you're fine. Now, Cool Papa went ahead and took a death in the Chomp Room after picking up the Pod Big Key, which is a little interesting. Whereas Hitsuyan's going to just get the Pod Big Key here, but he's probably going to keep going. Or take a death. That looked almost unintentional.
Yeah, it looked like he was definitely thinking about it. But really, Dr. Bob, like how us commentators try and predict something, and then inevitably the runners will do the exact opposite. That's probably what happened.
My question is, if you know where Laser Bridge is, why are you holding on to your Turtle Rock key? Oh, because that's where the boss is. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Dumb. Dumb. Hi. My name is Dr. Bob, and I'm dumb. I should start up Dumb's Anonymous.
Oh, it has to be anonymous? Okay.
You say your first name at the anonymous meetings. Derps Anonymous. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
I think we've seen this.
Oh, yes. So on his side, Cool Papa found this connector in Kakariko. He chose not to follow it. Opting for other things.
He's following it now. Okay. And Cool Papa found Hyrule Castle, so that's fun. Garbage connected
yes,
for garbage people.
Yeah, and actually, it looks like Cool Papa Bell does not have that Hyrule Castle small key that Hitsu picked up earlier.
Speaking of Hitsuyan has found Ice Palace. Now, the cool thing about Ice Palace, well, aside from the entirety of it, because it's Ice Palace, is the fact that we have that Cane of Samaria and we can do some ice breaking. The bad news is no hammer, so there's going to be a couple of chests that are just locked out. The pun wasn't intended until I was halfway through it, and then I was like, well, I'm going to lean into it. Thieves Town small key, and the big key of Eastern. Oh, he's kind of just went ahead and grabbed the first chest in ice. That's reasonable. It doesn't take very long to get to. You got bombos. I like it.
Yeah, these runners have picked up a lot of good potential Ice Rod big keys. Cool Papa Bell picked up the big key to Pod, and Hitsu just picked up the big key to Eastern.
Now, Cool Papa just picked up also the third Ganon's Tower small key. And we've also got the Ganon's Tower big key, which to me sounds like some chests in Ganon's Tower might have a thing or two.
That is certainly a very strong possibility. All these runners now have to do is find GT. Easy, right?
GT's usually just lying around somewhere. Yeah, Tower Room is not. Yeah, Tower Room is not like. It's not a meme in Cross Keys. It's like progression 30% of the time.
Yeah, and given that these runners both have the cape, they can use the cape and grab a wall and take a small break if they wanted to.
Interesting. So it looks like what Cool Papa Bell did here is he saved or he reset to scum this key. The problem is didn't he find the Thieves Town small key down there?
Yes. So he might just want to see what's in back of his cape, maybe, or maybe he's just going to write that off.
That could be. This is kind of a chunk of time being lost here. But, you know, he can pick it up when he finds the Hyrule Castle small key, at least.
Yeah, so certainly Hitsu will save quite a bit of time over Cool Papa Bell. Having found the Hyrule Castle small key much earlier, he doesn't have to save scum or do any of these, reset shenanigans.
Yeah, he will want to set up a death warp of sorts here. So if he's taking any extra damage that you think he shouldn't, there's a reason for it.
All right, what does the back of the cape have for us today?
We got 10 arrows, a compass of Ice Palace, and a piece of heart. So garbage things for garbage people once again.
All right, looks like Cool Papa Bell has decided that he is going to go back and get the Thieves Town small key, either now or later, but he is not going to keep the back of his cape. I certainly don't blame him.
Hitsuyan perfectly orchestrating his health for this death warp. Yeah, and Cool Papa Bell is just going to head on to the Ice Rod Cave shopping mall area.
Yeah, always really nice to visit this area when you have the glove. You don't have to isolate that entrance that he's picking up right now.
Yeah, I very much like to not come here until I have the glove or have no other options. That basically goes for the entirety of South Hyrule.
Oh my gosh!
Tower. Yeah, East Dark World is only a thing with the sanctuary going on.
Yeah, it looks like according to our tracker, Cool Papa Bell has 2 small GT keys and the GT big key, picking up a third one under the pot, so he can go quite far in GT if he chooses to.
The correct answer for the GT guessing game was 7, by the way.
7 out of 216? It looks like Cool Papa Bell is indeed going to use that cape to his advantage, going to hug the wall here, or pull on the wall while activating the cape. In this case, it actually doesn't use any magic, and things don't know that he exists. So it's a very easy way to get through this room.
And you get this whole, and as we were discussing before, tile room, you just do it. Piece of heart, and Cool Papa is piecing out of GT, which makes plenty of sense. You can go to the right side there. It is not easy to do that torch room with just the lamp. It requires a non-trivially difficult bomb jump.
Yeah, so they do have the boots, which does make their life a little bit easier, but having, I think, a fire shield would be a lot nicer. You don't have to worry about that shooter at the very end.
Shooter's a jerk.
I am curious if either of these runners know how to mimic clip or are willing to mimic clip if they're interested in scaling GT. Probably too early, to like actually make that play, but you never know with these runners.
Yeah. See, my philosophy on mimic clip is people who do it are actually wizards. It's like, I can hover and I can't mimic clip, okay? I don't get it.
Alright, looks like Hitsu is going to use up one of his GT small keys and attempt to do right side. So if he's successful, this is quite the treat in terms of execution.
Oh yeah. And there's going to be a lot of extra items available from this. Oh yeah, you definitely want to go into this room as part of the deal. That's because once you light the torch on the bottom, you want to fall in the hole and spawn at the top so that you can then dash through and light all the torches that way.
How can we expect any different from somebody who has their own sprite in this game?
Oof. Fireballs are also jerks.
It looks like Cool Papa Bell is exploring the Zora area. Under Waterfall Cave, he found Mimic Cave. It does not have the hammer, so can't quite do anything here. It looks like he does not actually have enough money to pay off Zora. Found the heart container on Zora Ledge, so we'll try something else for the time being.
Hitsuyan having just the hardest time lighting torches.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh.
Really jumping the gun on those. Looks like he might just be throwing in the towel here. While Cool Papa is making the East Dark World play.
Yeah, actually, given that Cool Papa only has 400 rupees, and he didn't really, I guess, get the chance to Houlihan early on, it looks like that actually did hurt him somewhat when he went to go visit Zora. Because once Hitsu goes over there, he has enough money to do so, to pay off Zora.
Yeah.
Jay Cooper, to answer your question, he did go, but he did not have enough money. So he saw what was on Zora Ledge, which was just a heart container. And then
all right. Ooh,
hey,
okay.
That is a really nice
at the library. That was at the dark cave near Flute 5, whereas Hitsuyan found a connector to the floating island through the shopping mall connector that Cool Papa Bell decided not to go through.
Yeah, we did see Quake is our entrance into the vanilla entrance to Turtle Rock. It certainly does seem like the main divergences is Hitsu following connectors, whereas Cool Papa Bell looks like he's just doing more breath first or topical searches.
And Hitsuyan finds another connector he wants to follow. This is the old man's rescue, which is guaranteed to put you out somewhere on West Death Mountain. The old man got really, really lost in Death Mountain today.
Crossing dimensions, and somehow yet Hitsu, is a good citizen and takes him back home.
What I'm saying is, if the old man was sitting there in the Dark World, he had to have the Titans bits. So why doesn't he just give them to you?
Well, I mean, if he gave them to you, then he wouldn't have them anymore, right?
Fair enough.
I am also glad for both these runners that they both found the lamp relatively early. This means that not all of the dark rooms won't be dark anymore, but also where they kind of stumble upon these caves, they can actually see where they're going.
And they don't have to nope out immediately. So Cool Papa Bell also making use of the fact that the flippers are available to head to the dark shopping mall area.
Hitsu finds the back of Skull Woods.
Oh, and there's the right to Hyrule Castle. And Nagina's Cave. So the back of Skull Woods is yet another location that could theoretically be done right now if you had a key. But also, it expects you to have the fire rod to actually do it.
Yes, in logic, certainly will require the fire rod.
I mean, in logic, it requires all the keys.
Yes, that is certainly true. Yes, but in practice, I'm sure both these runners are capable of doing this with only the lamp. Papa Bill doing his best here to avoid taking damage, but unfortunately he got sniped by the bird bomber. Unfortunately, he does 2 hearts of damage there on Green Mail.
I believe the proper name for those things are jerks. I'm kidding. Hitsuyan finding the right side of Desert Palace in the Spike Cave entrance. Probably going to head to check the other entrance here and then probably head right back, would be my guess. Well, there's the front of Turtle Rock as well, so... Well, he didn't have to waste his key.
Yeah, we're just finding everything there is about Turtle Rock these days.
Everything but the big chest.
And unfortunately can't get the Fire Rod lock side, those 2 checks either.
And there's the left.
The Fire Rod is here.
There's the left entrance of Hyrule Castle at the Dark Potion Shop. So apparently both of our runners went through Hyrule Castle and did not even bother checking the entrances.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. They just went to only get the items. I think you're right in that both of them just went right back out the entrance that they came into.
Yeah, I guess, they were on... Oh, what?
That is an amazing find by Cool Papa Bell.
All right, so the hammer located at the catfish location, which is thoroughly in logic now. Did I say hammer? I meant mirror. Did I say hammer? Because I feel like I said hammer.
I heard mirror, but also I saw the mirror, so maybe, I had selective wishful hearing.
I meant mirror. Anyway. So
it's okay. We all see the mirror here. Where everything's fine.
Mirror, which is totally not a hammer. Hammer is the opposite of a mirror. Hammer can generally break mirrors. Hitsuyan finds the Skull Woods key in Desert, and Cool Papa Bell is checking the entrances on top of Hyrule Castle with that mirror, which is not a hammer.
Cool Papa Bell finding Paradox Cave here is a really nice, interesting find. This would be 5 more items for him. Picking up that extra green rupee for good measure.
All right, Dark Lumberjack Shop is vanilla. Like, that's actually just the Dark Lumberjack Shop. We found Aga Tower for Hitsuyan, which is going to give him access to a single solitary item. And shoutouts to Bombos. All right, the final Ganon's Tower small key as well in Paradox Cave. So, whew.
Yeah, that means, well, at least, logically they can get to a lot of places, but they still need a couple items, such as, the hook shot.
I just saw Incoherent talking about being in WDW without that mirror, and I was like, wait, who's in Wet Dry World? I'm confused.
So many acronyms these days. Right. As we see Cool Papa Bell kind of exploring other parts of the Dark World here, Death Mountain, not Dark World. One thing that was pointed out by Jake Cooper in chat was that when Cool Papa Bell was at the top of Hyrule Castle, he did not have any magic to actually cape through for that last entrance.
Oh, just the disrespect. Cool Papa Bell walks in to what is actually the Hammer Peg Cave, where there's a red shield, picks up a pot like he's gonna grab the shield, and then leaves. He's just like, nope.
Oh, we found Hera on Cool Papa Bell's side.
the big key of Swamp Palace found in Tower of Hera, just to, add to our big key collection. Unfortunately, lack of hookshot will make it basically impossible to do the Hera pot clip, at least with what I know about it.
It's always a nice, throwback, right? To see the dungeon done the developer intended way.
I imagine you could do some weird boot style clipping to do stuff like that, but that's not allowed, so don't.
Found ourselves another pot key. They have quite the collection now for pot. Oh no, Cool Papa Bell! Oh no! Oh no!
That is the worst place to fall. And I can tell you why he fell. He fell because the Moldorms in that room caused him a little lag and messed up his sword spin setup to get on that pixel. Hitsuyan taking advantage of the last bastion of a randomizer where that box is still a key.
Yeah, even though Hitsu doesn't have the mirrors, he can't really warp out conveniently. At least he has Green Mill and 6 hearts, so that when he chooses to Death Warp, it's not a terrible loss of time.
It's actually not that bad a lineup if you can do the spin setup there. But you got to get comfortable with the spin setup before it becomes a thing. That was Spike Cave for Hitsuyan over there in the C-shaped house entrance. And the back of Hookshot Cave, which he could get an item from if he wanted.
We have a very classic NMG-esque Moldorm fight here on Cool Papa Bell's side.
Gross. Spider Sword Moldorm 1 or Moldorm anything is gross. That is the official opinion of this commentator. But it works.
Did you say something about toilet paper earlier?
Did somebody find the map against tower? Is that what happened?
Yeah, and in fact, Moldorm dropped the map again its tower for Cool Papa Bell.
Well, there you go. So the Hookshot Cave right now has 1 in-logic check and 3 more checks that you could theoretically get if you're consistent with a difficult trick, which is not as wizardry as people think it is. Mimic Clip is more wizardry. I don't know how anybody does it.
I guess I'm not as familiar with both these runners' tendencies to know if they're willing to hover.
All right. Speaking of Hookshot Cave, Cool Papa Bell is going for the 1 in logic chest, which has a piece of heart. And he's going to go through the connector, which will take him to West Dark World, as we know. Now, he's going to have the advantage of having the mirror here, which is going to allow him to check quite a few more areas that Hitsuyan is having to leave behind right now. All right, our 5/6 crystals are Desert and Misery Mire from that bomb shop, which was only slightly displaced to the rocks behind its original location. And I just interrupted you right there. Sorry about that.
No, no worries. And in fact, we just tend to happen to always want to say the same things. So.
Like, get out of my head.
Speaking of Hookshot and Swamp, we found Swamp Palace in the brewery today. We have not found the dam yet, so as you mentioned before, if hints were on, Cool Pablo could check the hint, but until they find the dam, they can't even access the first chest in Swamp.
Right.
Cool Pablo trying to use that lamp to burn down those hammer pegs, to no avail, unfortunately.
Well, doesn't he have the hammer? I'm kidding.
It's a really tiny, breakable hammer, one-time use, really.
It's like, I'm not going to let myself live that down because I'm dumb. Anyway. Basically, everyone's audio is dead, unfortunately. No one's broadcasting game audio, so we're just having to deliver to you our wonderful voices, and that's about it today. But hopefully that'll be enough. All right, we found the powder in the mini moldworm cave for Hitsuyan. Which was in the Swamp Palace entrance. Yeah.
Yeah, assuming Cool Pablo goes and gets that powder, he can check Vanilla Magic Bats once he mirrors out from the Dark World to the Light World.
He would need the Titan's Mitts.
Yes, in addition to the Titan's Mitts. You are absolutely correct.
Or he could find a connector to hammer pegs. That's the other way that happens.
That is also correct.
I've never seen it happen, but it would be amazing. I would love to see Titan's Mitts at Magic Bat with no hammer accessible. That's the dream right there.
What kind of dreams are you having, Dr. Bob? do we need to talk here?
Very disturbing dreams.
All right, so we do see Cool Pablo in Skullwood. Oh wow, I'm glad he didn't get wall mastered. Looks like it's been killed just the right thing. We will see him basically using that mirror or hammer to his advantage here, though, whereas Hitsu had to death warp out whenever he wanted to start over. All right, so with almost an hour into the seed, it looks like our runners have found a lot of bit keys, some number of progression items, and some number of dungeons, but actually in terms of what they still have left to do, actually seems quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, really the major outstanding dungeons that we haven't found yet, that's basically Pod and Eastern. Those are kind of the big ones.
Yeah, and we found Swamp, but we haven't found the dam yet. So they can't really do Swamp yet. Looks like Hitsu is going to get his mirror, which is really good news for him. Very conveniently placed actually for him if he chooses to mirror right here and do the Zora area. And assuming he actually goes to Zora himself, we will be able to see one additional check that Cool Pablo was not able to provide for us.
All right, Hitsuyan, gonna run by that heart container. I don't expect him to go out of the way for that one. But he is gonna head over to King Zora himself to spend a bunch of money. It's an Ice Palace small key. Perhaps not the most hype item in the world, but it's not, terrible either.
It's certainly one Ice Palace small key is very efficient for routing, even though, it's not, I think, yes, as you mentioned, the most desired. But for both these runners, they picked up two different Ice Palace small keys. Cool Papa Bell picked his up in the big chest of Hera that he worked very hard for, and Hitsu just picked his up right then. So when they eventually decide to go back to Ice Palace, they will have an easier time routing.
That is interesting because that's both of the small keys for Ice. Speaking of orphaned locations, Hitsuyan's going to be able to check the Aga Tower entrance here with that cape. And it's garbage.
Yep, alright, looks like Cool Papa Bell is still safe. So I think for both of the orphan locations that Cool Papa Bell was not able to, which is Zora and this entrance, doesn't look like he's going to be punished so far.
Well, I mean, he'll probably be punished later when he, has to go back, is looking for one thing and decides to check them,
Oh, that's actually a really good point. Which last location do you go to when you have 10 different last locations?
Exactly. Yeah, Thieves Town Big is a potential problem. Luckily, we know it won't contain the hammer, and that's kind of the major blocking item at this point.
In terms of other items, though, right. So Hitsu's missing the bow that Cool Papa Bell has, but both these runners are still missing the hook shot. Both these runners are still missing the flute. Flute may not be necessary, but it's certainly nice to have.
All right, so Cool Papa Bell now rescuing the old man. The bow was in the library, which turned out to be the Dark World Cave near Flute 5. So the just south of Palace of Darkness there.
Did you catch what happened on Hitsu's side? So he also found the vanilla hammer pegs content and saw the fire shield, and he actually picked up a pot, threw it on the ground, and then left.
I mean, Cool Papa Bell did the exact same thing. Is there a conspiracy here? Yes. Are people out to make me hate? Are people out to disgrace the fire shield today?
And maybe they had a gentleman's agreement that when they found the fire shield and they found it in the hammer peg spot, they're going to say, you know what, let's just both pick up a pot, throw it on the ground, and then immediately leave.
Seems like a rather specific gentleman's agreement.
Hitsu will make his way through Hera. There's still no hook shot, so he couldn't do Hera Pod, but looks like he is going to make a good amount of progress here. Probably will do all the things that Cool Papa Bell did. Meanwhile, Cool Papa Bell is on the back side of Skullwoods with a key in hand, still choosing not to go back. Guessing he doesn't want to use the lamp to try and find.
I'm guessing that seven heart fighter sword green male moth is not a thing that he wants to do. It's not a thing that I want to do.
You certainly bring up very reasonable points here.
Oh, and we got a little more information there. Now know that Skullwood, Swamp Palace, and Turtle Rock are all crystals. Specifically 1, 3, and 2 in the order I said.
Which means that we will potentially still be going on a literal ice rock hunt this seed.
Yep. And Cool Papa Bell has found the back of Skull Woods, apparently. I didn't see actually how he got there. Alright, so Hitsuyan also finishes off Tower of Hera, gets a pendant for his trouble.
At
It's a
least
connector from the Hera entrance, right, because Hitsuyan didn't have access to that at the time.
Yeah, and at least Moldorm dropped the green pendant. They have not found Sahashko yet. So
I
I'm
didn't
sure
realize
when
the pendant was green. I was having a... I'm not colorblind, but I apparently thought it was blue. Maybe I am colorblind.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably saw that pendant looking in the mirror and thought it was not green.
Yeah, it was the hammer.
Hitsu, finding Hype Cave with a Master Sword from the NPC. That is pretty hype.
Yep. Turns out this...
Oh my god!
Good! What? Okay, game. So what happened here was the back of the old man's home turned out to be that. Meanwhile, Cool Papa Bell has located the dam. It was a king's tomb. Anyways, but the back of the old man's cave went to the laser bridge exit on Dark Death Mountain. You mirror to the middle cave in East Death Mountain, and that was Hype Cave. And that's where 2 swords and 2 full hearts were. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
At least we don't ever have to go back. Now, I certainly don't imagine Cool Papa Bell forgetting about the back of Old Man's Cave, but at least for newer runners, it is a common entrance that people forget about.
My favorite thing... Ooh. Hello, Pod. Oh, that was just in the Light World side, wasn't it?
Yes. Hitsu mirrored and then found Pod in the Light World. Correct.
That makes plenty of sense. Alright, so Hitsuyan does not have the bow. If he continued his little spree, he probably could find the bow pretty quick, but nah.
So he also doesn't have a bottle, which means that he can't potion glitch his way on the Bowlock side. Now, is there a potential here to see Mimic Clipping? Maybe?
I imagine he's probably skilled enough to pull it off, but it's also impossible, so I don't know.
Cool Papa Bell is going to be disappointed with his 5 rupee pickup here. I'm sorry, 5 rupee dig up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 20 rupees.
Alright, so Hitsuyan going for the Harmless Hellway check, which is a full heart. It looks like he's going to head back to do the basement at least. Oh, no, he's going to do the Dark Maze with the Hammer Jump. I see a lot of people coming around the south side for the Hammer Jump here, and I get it if you're used to it, but it's just so much more forgiving if you do it from the top. You get so much more time. Oh, that's a hook shot in the dark maze.
That is an incredibly powerful find here for Hitsu.
That kind of explains why we've seen so many pod keys. That's going to be locked by 6 pod keys at this point, since the bow is accessible. Well, maybe the hammer might make it 5. But still, lots and lots of keys.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, well, there's the hammer, so...
There's the hammer.
Pay no attention to me.
I mean, maybe you should just keep saying items, because as soon as you said the item, Hitsu just picked it right up.
Yeah, we do need to find that swamp small key at some point. And Hitsuyan finds the bow. It's like, okay.
Seems so common these days, as alluded to by Incoherent in chat, is that you do a dungeon or a location, you can't access parts of it because you're missing that item. You find it 5 minutes later. Dr. Bob,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your ears. But like the very next check that we hadn't seen was the swamp small key.
What else do you think these days, Dr. Bob? I would like a flute, please.
Yeah, I can say something about the flute. Yeah, leaving progression in Sphere 1 for an hour, that's never happened. I've never accidentally forgotten to pay the bottle vendor and spent 3+ hours on a seed trying to find the flippers.
That seems a very specific scenario, Dr. Bob.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
And Cool Papa Bell finds the Ether Medallion sitting at the sunken treasure location. I think the dam might have been at like K45. Was that it? No, it was King's Tomb. We talked. I said that when it happened. Oh, Sazrala is kind of close to his normal location.
That gives us a map to Desert Palace, which I believe we already knew that it was a 5/6 crystal.
That is correct. Also has butter.
Well, I think Hitsu is going to have a relatively fast time with Ganon.
Yeah, Butter Sword is pretty solid here. Okay, so Cool Papa Bell is going to be in an interesting scenario here. If he manages to never open the front door, he could full clear pod. Oh, but he can't get to the hammer without doing so. Right.
He could choose to skip one of the checks that Hitsu did.
Yeah.
Or it's still not possible. Because I know Hitsu opened up Harmless Hellway and he did the Dark Basement.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he could choose to say skip the big key chest or the Harmless Hellway and just beat the boss, which is a fairly reasonable play if he wanted to. But not always. And for all we know, he could find another vanilla key over here. I was trying to make it happen.
You've done so much for our runners already, Dr. Bob. certainly picking up some extra heart containers though before some of these Dark World bosses will give these runners a little bit more peace of mind before they go into the fight. So maybe coolpapabell is ready to head back to Mothula.
Yeah, I know Hitsuyan would probably be perfectly okay with doing Moth right now. What with that butter sword and everything.
A butter sword and the cave, I think he's probably set.
Yeah, but the hook shot here kind of gave Hitsuyan the idea of maybe I should go to GT.
Yeah, and he has the bow too, so he could clear all of GT if he so chooses.
Yeah. So I would be interested in trying to see. So he's also got the swamp key, like we talked about, and swamp is a pretty big deal too. He just hasn't found the dam yet. So while Hitsuyan has the swamp key, Cool Papa has the dam done. I imagine Cool Papa will actually find the swamp key pretty soon after his pod dip here, and might even get, say, the Master Sword from Sahasrah's closet.
Yeah, it's really a good question for when Hitsu will decide to go back to the Graveyard Ledge area, or at least that area, to drain the dam. Because without the myths, it's checking King's Tomb isn't super appealing.
All right, Cool Papa pulls off the hammer jump, which is good, and he will get the hook shot here.
Our first bottle.
Meanwhile, Hitsuyan finds another Turtle Rock small key in the rando room.
I like Hitsu's resource counters. 1,000 rupees, 10 bombs, and 30 arrows. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, or pretty nice. It's also very easy to get 10 bombs and 30 rupees because that's just default max. But hey, you remember that medallion requirement for Turtle Rock there?
I in fact do.
Well, Hitsuyan just found the Quake medallion in the big chest of Gan's Tower, and the ice rod in Bob's chest. Hello.
All right, the ice rod hunt has ended. It looks like Cool Papa has chosen to save some a pod key. Checking the vanilla big key location, did not like what the contents were, and has reset.
Oh, looks like Cool Papa, well, he's not going to get the swamp key real quick, but it does look like he'll probably get his other two swords here. Okay, mushroom acquired behind Ice Armos. And Hitsuyan is going upstairs. Yeah, Fire Rod Hunt is more like it. You're right.
Yes, that's a really good point. Yeah, I was even going to say, I was wondering if Hitsu wanted to try the right side again, with slightly better resources. Not Fire Rod better resources, or Fire Shield for that matter, but he does have more health.
Yeah, and you kind of want the Fire Rod at some point here. So and in terms of items, what else do you need? In terms of things needed to beat dungeons, there's not much else other than keys, right? So it would be perhaps less shall we say, less appealing to sequence break around something that you desperately need, like the fire rod. But of course, you could have one of the keys that you need behind there, so it's kind of a wash sometimes.
Was that pun intentional? I was watching Hitsu tear through this gauntlet with the butter sword, and then you said "but," of course.
No.
The best kind of humor is the unintentional kind. Cool Papa putting that bomb to Dalian also to good use.
See, if I were Cool Papabell here, I would use Ether instead.
Saving those seconds. Very good point.
Oh yeah, Ice Palace is definitely a thing. I don't think that Cool Papabell has even located Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, unless I missed it as well. I think it was only Hitsu that found Ice Palace.
Yeah, I believe it was in Nagina's cave. Hitsuyan attempting to light a torch with the cane of Samaria.
I mean, those fire shots look like they should light a torch, right?
Yeah, basically. Oh yeah. Okay, so Cool Papabell found Ice Palace, but he didn't do the thing that Hitsuyan did and go inside to check the first item, which was the Eastern Palace Big Key. All right, upstairs chest in GT, the flute. The map of Hera, which is not nearly as exciting as the flute.
Given that they've already beaten Hera, I will agree with you here.
The compass of GT. And it's about to be time for the final chest. I don't expect Hitsuyan to actually proceed after picking up the chest.
It's also kind of a nice change of pace for Hitsu, right? Because his first Molden fight was with the fighter sword, and his second Molden fight was with the butter sword.
Yeah, significantly less gross. So the chest tracker in the dungeon in Keysanity occurs once you picked up the compass. So the idea is, the reason I knew that it was the compass of Ganon's Tower before the text box came up is because it caused the counter to show up. The 4 missing checks are on the right side, the ones that are locked in logic behind the fire rod. Hitsuyan attempted them earlier and had some mishaps. Really, his only mishaps were with the lamp trying to light the silly torches. Cool Papabell is about to use his hook shot to check the rest of these chests. We know there's nothing particularly interesting here.
It looks like Hitsu is going to activate his flute.
Well then. Okay, here's the deal. I don't know how you feel, but I'll tell you for real about cross keys. No matter where you go, I'm pretty sure that you know you'll spend hours untold searching for things. All right. So, Hitsuyan is going to go check Magic Bat, and Cool Papabell is going to check the first chest of Swamp Palace and be slightly annoyed that he can't check anymore. Magic bat, just a piece of heart. And we're getting to check Spike Cave now. Cool Papabell making sure to switch to the cape with at least 2 hearts of damage left to go, because there is a little bit of a delay on being able to activate the cape after selecting it. Hey!
that is a nice prize at the end of Spike Cave. Fun fact, one of the previous seeds that Cool Papabell did in this tournament, he was in fact in Spike Cave with only the cape, and he did not activate it in time. So he's probably a little bit more cautious now when he goes through Spike Cave.
All right, Hitsuyan has turned in the mushroom that he got from behind Ice Armos, and got Turtle Rock Small Key from the potion shop. Also, important things. Got a potion. Like, went to the potion shop for its intended purpose. Also, go into Ice Palace. And now, Cool Papabell, having checked the first chest of Swamp, is going to find the key to Swamp.
Bring us some flashes of happiness here.
Yeah, I'm sure that was happiness. It's like, game. All right, Hitsuyan heading to... Yeah, he's actually got all the keys, so yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter if he flipped the switch or not.
Yeah, like sorry, I think you don't have to flip the switch if you have the Ice Palace big key. Hey, we found the second key to Castle Tower, or the first key to Castle Tower, which means we can access the second chest.
Yeah. Yeah, Agate Tower was Death Mountain somewhere? No. West Dark World somewhere? I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember.
Big Key of Mire, though, that's pretty big. And that makes Misery Mire seem like a pretty good play. I can't imagine Hitsuyan doesn't actually know where that is. I know it's not marked on his side of the tracker that he knows where it is, but it was in Kakariko, south side. So I imagine he's seen it. I wasn't trying to call out the tracker. Just
we see Cool Papabell back in Swamp for picking up his butter sword from Taha. And so this will be a good number of checks here that we have not seen on either side.
All right. Cool Papabell checking the second chest of Swamp. It has bees.
I imagine Cool Papabell will give us a display of Diver down here.
Ooh, got a shovel in the big chest of Ice Palace. And apparently there was blue mail as well, which I'm certainly never saying no to that. And Hitsuyan just dropping a block on the switch to head down to Cold Stare. Ice Rod was in Bob's chest in Gan's tower. Otherwise known as the chest directly above Ice Armos. And there's the Fire Rod in the compass chest of Swamp.
Looks like Hitsu has started his cold stare fight. Did not look like he got them in the corner. So desired, but with Butter Sword and Blue Mail, he should be relatively safe here. I'm sure he's more than happy to see that pendant on Ice Palace.
Yeah, turns out Ice Palace is a pendant today, so rip. Yeah, so apparently the sprite that Hitsuyan is using is labeled as Hitsuyan1337 on the game. It's clear that the avatar is based off of another property, but we won't. It's an homage to a property. And it looks like Hitsuyan is heading into Mire now with that Mire big key.
Yeah,
Left side swamp is Garbo, like you do.
Left side swamp never has what you want when you check it. That's how I've seen seeds go. Not having the fire rod here in Mire will not really hurt, I think, Hitsu in terms of that much time. Especially even on Vitrius because he has Butter Sword and Cape. Probably the only parts here is, he needs to light these torches with the lamp versus the fire rod, which, isn't the end of the world.
Ooh, Titan's Mitts for Cool Papa Bell in the back of Swamp in the, what's it called? The flooded room.
And so combined between these two runners, with Hitsu having the flute and Cool Papa Bell having the Titan's Mist, they are able now to access the Mire area.
Mm-hmm. If you put them together, we could get there.
This is a co-op seed, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like it's like a multi-world, except you get both the items at the same time.
Yeah. Cool Papa Bell starting his Argus fight. He did have a really good start for potential quick kill there for Armos, but unfortunately, it looks like Armos did not move in the right direction for him.
Yeah, Argus has a few movement patterns, short, medium, and long, and you want him to do a bunch of short moves to try to get the 1 cycle there, or 0 cycle.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I was about to talk about the combo rando there for a second, so don't worry about it.
To point out that in a Hitsu search in Mire, he picked up silvers as well. So if he's Vitrius fight, he has a number of options to make it very fast.
Yeah, he has exactly enough arrows to kill Vitrius.
That is efficient resource management there.
And red mail. So, if you were worried at all about your health there, how about no? Ooh, Cool Papa Bell finds the big key of Turtle Rock in the the Bonk Rocks cave in the Hammer Pegs location. That requires the Titan's Mitts, so those Titan's Mitts are hard required. And no, you can't do the boots clip to get into the water and swim. This is not overworld glitches.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of progression, after Hitsu, gets done clearing these crystal dungeons, he really needs to go into Vanilla King's Tomb location to drain the dam.
Correct. Yeah, the Ice Rod was definitely in Ganon's Tower, whereas the Meyer Big Key was in Ice Palace. So you do have to go back into Ice Palace to beat this seed. But Hitsuyan is going to have to find the dam in order to get that Turtle Rock Big Key. Now, I feel like with the Turtle Rock Big Key, Cool Papa Bell's probably going to try to do something with Turtle Rock soon. He is going to turn in the blacksmith, though. The chest is not named after me.
Yeah, if you ever need another reason to go back to GT, or not G, to Turtle Rock, we just had another small key to Turtle Rock there on Cool Papa Bell's side.
Yeah, the glitched anti-fairy was just a side effect of changing the graphics of that one item in Ganon's Tower. And the name Bob for that glitched anti-fairy predates my involvement with the randomizer. I don't know why they ended up calling it Bob, but it was cute and it stuck. Exactly. It's the hammer peg.
Turned in the chest. Yeah, unfortunately, it just yielded a heart piece. I'm sorry, I interrupt you, Dr. Bob. What were we going to say?
No, I was just messing with people in chat. They're trying to get us to say something, and it's not going to happen. Oh my gosh, we found Sick Kid. Sick Kid sitting at Ice Palace.
I mean, no wonder he's sick. So cold there.
Yeah. Well, if he just stopped giving away ventricles.
Alright, actually, looks like Hitsu is making potentially the right direction towards Vanilla King's Tomb.
We are going to go ahead and get the second chest in Aga Tower, it looks like.
Alright, so on Cool Papa Bell's side, with all the small GT keys and the GT big key, I believe he has some exploring to do. Looks like oh, that's right, he has a fire rod, so he can actually he can clear out the right side.
Yep. Now, one major problem we have, at least if you're these runners, is we have not located Eastern Palace, which is kind of necessary, at least according to our crystal tracker here. So now I'm guessing somewhere in the Meyer area, but we still haven't located it yet. So Turtle Rock has been required by one of our runners. We don't know where Desert Big Key is. There's Desert Small.
Definitely really nice to see that key. Then you don't have to save scum anything. I imagine after clearing GT, Cool Papa Bell will go activate his flute and most likely go to the mire area. Hitsu, after draining the dam, has motivation now to go back to Swamp.
Okay, Hitsuyan checking the hammer house, getting the map of pod and a big old heart. And he's going to dip into Swamp now, which we know is the right move.
This will definitely be good for Hitsu. He will pick up his bits here. So we do see runners here kind of retracing each other's steps. The main question will be for Cool Papa Bell if he's going to scale GT after this. I can only imagine he will.
Maybe. If he's got when he picks up the fire rod, or I mean the ice rod, he might be tempted to dip out and go to Turtle Rock instead. Especially with that small key. But
yeah.
Who knows?
No, you are certainly correct in that assessment. GT or at least location GT, like he can always just swim and run back. So if he decides to finish out, it's not going to be the end of the world for him to come back here.
Now the lumberjack tree is dead, like super dead. Everything is dead. Oh, you know what'd be fun is if the Eastern Palace entrance was at the Turtle Rock entrance.
I'm sorry, did you say fun? What's your definition of fun again?
Stuff that makes you want to puke and vomit.
Got it.
Puke and vomit at the same time. That's right. Lumberjack tree is dead after you kill that guy, I guess. I guess that's technically the case.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Get out of my head.
All right, looks like we are scaling GT. So this will certainly be very good for Cool Papa Bell. We'll pick up his flute here.
Yeah, I think it's likely a good call because I feel like the flute's going to be required to find Eastern. May not be, but it could be, and it's likely at this point because most of the entrances that aren't accounted for yet are in that mire area. Basically, there's that Turtle Rock one we were talking about. Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm not going to say it because then it'll happen.
Okay.
Desert Big Key and Thieves Town Big Chest.
Oh no! Oh no! Dr. Bob, why did you have to remind me of that terrible location that both runners skipped like 5 minutes into the seed? All right, Hitsu showing us the bomb setup for Diver Down. Gets it on the first try, very clean.
And a very nice Titan's Mitts pickup as well. Yeah, both runners did check the Maze Race entrance, I believe, or at least one of them did for sure. I don't believe it was anything particularly important. I remember seeing it. Yeah, I remember seeing it happen, and then thinking, "Oh, I wonder if he's going to go get the Cane of Brine," but no. So one of my favorite strats for Land Mode 2, when I have the Butter Sword, and I'm going to powder that anti-fair or that bunny beam anyway, is actually wait like a second or two in that room so that they all spawn at the same time, and then you can get in the middle and spin all three at once and then slash again and hope to hit them all.
It's really neat. I definitely agree with you. That is really pretty to see.
Hitsuyan does have the Eastern Palace big key. He just doesn't know where Eastern is. The Eastern Palace big key was in the first chest of Ice Palace, which he went and grabbed. And Hitsuyan's about to grab the Turtle Rock big key as well.
Yeah, Hitsu's definitely making very excellent progression here.
The silvers, I believe, were in Misery Mire.
Yes. Along with Red Mail, is that right?
Red Mail, yeah, also Misery Mire, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the difference.
There was a mail in Ice and there was a mail in Mire.
Both places that Cool Bell have not been to yet.
And Cool picking up the item that allows him to be absolutely certain that he's full cleared this dungeon. I have not heard about that double episode. Sounds good. I was like, wait, Cool Bell, are you gonna do this? No. Okay, good. Because there is absolutely no need to beat Aghanim 2 today. Or Aghanim 1 for that matter.
Yeah, given that he had already safe scummed the Hyrule Castle key, and he spent like a good 2 minutes doing so, like he probably wants to save his investment.
All right, so Cool Bell is getting his flute out. Looks like he's going to go activate it. And Hitsuyan is going to finish out Skull Woods. Just going to bring that crystal count up to 4, and soon to be 5 if he goes to Turtle Rock. I usually only do one duck song per thing. Eastern Big Key was the very first chest in Ice Palace, which was over at Agina's Cave. Speaking of Turtle Rock, it looks like that's where Cool Bell is headed. He's going to go to the Lost Woods here. That's going to take him to Laser Bridge, where he can go beat Trinex, and then he's going to have a neat little side effect of that. When you beat Turtle Rock, it drops you off at the front entrance of Turtle Rock, which he could then back into and check the 2 Fire Rod Lock chests.
That is some incredibly efficient routing. It looks like Hitsu has the same idea. He will also go to Turtle Rock, beat Trinex, and presumably also check the 2 Fire Rod Lock chests. Looks like Cool Papa Bell will not do backdoor strats, but with Butter Sword and Half Magic and Quick Swap, this should be a relatively fast fight.
Yeah. I don't know how many times in a cross keys seed I have to sit there and tell myself, hey, Quick Swap is a thing. Stop being dumb.
Yeah, that's probably one of the Quick Swap's probably one of the highlights of running any type of entrance seed.
Now you have to pick up that fire shield. What are you going to do about it?
Now, do you think either of them are going to go back and get the mirror shield?
That would be funny. Some pretty synced up Trinexx here.
Yeah, both of them, both also taking a hit, for good measure and for consistency across both runners.
All right, going to see the Fire Rod Lock chests on the right side of Turtle Rock. Nothing particularly exciting there. Cool Papa Bell will mirror and flute away. I would guess this is going to be a flute to 6. And it is. So probably Cool Papa Bell will be checking this area and then probably finish it up with a look into Ice Palace at the end.
All right, let's see what this entrance is.
Unfortunately, if he finds Eastern along the way, he might go into it without having the big key. Oh, and we're bird tossing.
All right, it looks like the front of the tavern is most likely not going to be a valuable location. Cool Papa Bell can check it off. Hitsu, coming here, does not have the Ether Medallion, which was, I believe, the second treasure of Swamp. So he won't be able to confirm that he does not need to go back here.
Yeah, I can't remember where the back of desert was. Maybe that was Cave 45. Oh, and there's Eastern at the what's it called? Checkerboard Cave entrance. There we go. And he did decide to dip out of Eastern for the time being. We're also checking the Spectacle Rock Cave, which we have now seen from 2 different angles. I would bet a reasonable amount of money that the other exit for that Spectacle Rock Cave is actual Ganon's Tower.
The contents of Graveyard Ledge looks like just a heart container. Cool Papa Bell, believing that he has enough heart containers at 15, chooses not to pick it up.
All right, so Hitsuyan going to find Eastern Palace. That will give him what he wants, at least for now. And unfortunately, Cool Papa Bell will also be going into Eastern Palace. He does not have the big key, however. There's a couple of big keys in Ice Palace that Cool Papa Bell needs to pick up. And there's a reasonable chance we find the Desert Big Key in here, and that will put Hitsuyan into go mode.
Yeah, remind me, Ice Palace was at Agina's cave, is that correct? Yeah. Okay, so
he's
even though,
painfully close to it right now.
just a mere transition, just a hammer transition away. That's right.
Hammer transition. I had almost forgotten about that.
You know, if you were going to remind me about the Desert Palace, Big Key in the Thieves Town Big Chest, I'm happy to remind you that we also need a mirror to get there too.
Okay. Okay, so a bottle with blue goo is a nice thing to find. Wow. When you have more rupees than the year you're living in, that's when you know something has gone horribly wrong. Oh, debated. As a big key pops out of the big chest of Eastern, and it's Skullwoods. Debated all day long.
Yeah, I'd almost forgotten that we still didn't have that big key yet, because we had already gotten like 8 other big keys.
So now the Desert Big Key could be in the Skullwoods big chest.
Oh yeah, what a great chain here.
I'd prefer that to the Thieves Town one, let's be honest.
Yeah, that is certainly my preference as well. All right, looks like end of the line here for Cool Papa Bell in Eastern Palace. Sad because he does not have the big key.
Let's see where he decides to go next. Yeah, he's going to mirror to the front of Desert. Check Spiral Cave. This very well could be the thing as well. I believe we saw the exit of this somewhere over on East Death Mountain. So I could be making that up. Dark East Death Mountain. Close enough.
We had a blink and you miss it Armos fight on Hitsu's side with silver arrows. The wall survived. It was very nicely 6 arrows placed.
All right, Cool Papa Bell is fluting to 1 now. Not sure exactly where he's going to go.
Oh, yeah, I guess because
but Hitsuyan is also going to get that Spiral Cave. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were finished. But I was just only going to say that because Spiral Cave is a one-way connector and both runners chose to take it, I was hoping that Cool Papa Bell would kind of stick around the desert area and check Agina, but I guess I have to make another trip.
He apparently does know that Ice Palace is there. He just doesn't want to go in. Let's see. Oh, he's going to check the Turtle Rock entrance, of course. And Hitsuyan finds the Ether Medallion, and he's like, well, hang on a minute. Let's go back and check that thing. Oh, nope, he's going elsewhere.
Oh, looks like he's gonna want to go back to GT, get his last 4 checks on the right side.
Yeah, that is going to give him the Desert Small Key, which is potentially relevant.
Wouldn't it be cool if the Desert Palace Big Key was in this vanilla location?
Yeah, I mean that's also cool in the same way that the Thieves Town Big Chest is. Turtle Rock entrance is just our archery game, which if there's one thing we don't need now, it's more money. Good lord. Hitsuyan still having trouble with these torches.
Oh no! Oh, that was unfortunate.
The GT torches are apparently Hitsuyan's actual nemesis today.
Yeah, no sword upgrade is gonna help him light these torches.
And there's Ice Rod Cave. I'm not sure we've seen either runner check this. We absolutely have not.
Yeah, that is a very necessary big key. In a not so great location.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like super easily accessible. You have to either get on top and mirror or something else, but yeah, it's pretty accessible. So it's just, one of those locations that you might leave behind on your first check of Death Mountain.
Yeah, speaking of which,
there's the Desert Palace.
Going?
Looks like that's a no. Looks like instead he's going through. He's going to desert to check the right side. Though he could head there soon. I imagine Hitsuyan's checks will be in this order. These two checks here, and then the Turtle Rock entrance, and then the one that Cool Papa just checked. Meyer Big is in Ice Palace. It's in the map chest, I believe, otherwise known as the H room. Yeah, cool. Cool Papa Bell needs to get into Ice Palace to get both the Eastern Big Key and the Meyer Big Key. But the good news for Cool Papa Bell is that he knows that he'll be able to just get those keys. Right? So when he gets those two keys, he'll be done. Like that's all he needs, right?
Yes, I believe you are correct.
Now, the unfortunate part about this is because of that, he's going to miss silvers and both mail upgrades.
Yeah, not doing Meyer and Ice kind of before he's doing all the rest of the stuff also put him in a slight disadvantage, when he was fighting, let's say, like Lambo or like clearing out these other dungeons. I think I noticed when he was upstairs GT, he did not have a super good Lambo fight. Similarly, looks like he did not have a great Lambo 1 fight as well. I mean, certainly it wasn't bad by any means, but having silvers would have been slightly faster.
So it looks like Hitsuyan has decided not to go to that entrance where the Desert Big Key is. So, Cool Papa Bell still has, a shot here. I don't believe we have. I don't believe we have seen that two-door connector. Oh, I bet that's where the Spectacle Rock Cave goes. I was wrong about the Gans Tower thing. Yeah, it's definitely the other end of Spectacle Rock Cave. It's the only connector we haven't seen yet.
Looks like Cool Papa Bell has remembered that he has now enough money to pay off Zora.
Oh, and we can do
yes,
Mimic Cave.
I forgot about Mimic Cave.
Oh, you know what else I forgot about? The shovel. Found that nice palace. So both runners having a bit of a time trying to find their last things. Cool Papa Bell needs to head to Ice Palace in a dang hurry. Meanwhile, Hitsuyan needs to go to the top of Death Mountain into the Spiral Cave entrance in order to find the big key of Desert Palace. Maybe that'll send Cool Papa Bell to ice.
Yeah, and Hitsu is kind of running around or fluting, in many corners of the world. So because it looks like he has these kind of like corner locations or somewhat isolated pockets. So this is definitely time given back to Cool Papa Bell.
Looks like Hitsuyan's gonna clear out Palace of Darkness here. A little bit unfortunate.
I'm trying to think of where the most densest locations Hitsu has left. Because, I mean, coming back to Pod is certainly not unreasonable for him.
Cool Papa Bell's about to go into Mire.
Oh, well, that's not the right order. or that's not the preferred order.
Doing it backwards. I mean, there's no way you could know that.
Unfortunately, Mire 2 is giving him a little bit of a hard time.
Yeah, at least he'll get the silvers and a mail upgrade from Mire.
Yeah, so also by the time he gets to Ganon, he will be on equal footing then with Hitsu.
I mean, other than I don't think he'll find the second mail.
Oh yeah, right. So yeah, I should clarify. I meant in terms of damage.
Yeah, you're right. I actually don't remember where the other mail was. I know it was in ice. I just don't know exactly what chest.
I want to say iced tea.
Okay, I don't think he's gonna get there. Now, I will say if I'm Cool Papa Bell, I might be tempted as soon as I see the first big key in ice, because it's in the very first chest. Depending on how I decide to get to Ice Palace, I might mirror and just go finish Eastern. Like if he's thinking ahead and wants to, and is expecting the Eastern big key in there, he might flute to 6, go to the Dark World, go towards Zagina's cave in the Dark World, mirror, so that he could get in the portal when he's done. I don't know.
No, I mean I think that's certainly a possibility.
That's more thinking ahead than I would do on the fly, though. So.
Hitsu taking down Helmasaur with 1 silver arrow, picking up his last pendant. I am quite curious to see if we will see a
Are we getting a pedestal check?
I'm sorry. to be hopefully more technically correct, we're going to pedestal pull.
Ooh, yeah, that's true, because we're not just reading it. We're going full. I mean, we'd be going full pull here.
That's kind of make you wonder where that book is. Because, between our two runners, we've checked a lot of locations.
True facts. All right, so Cool Papa Bell is going to 6. It does look like the Ice Palace play might be a thing, but he didn't go in the Dark World. He's just going to be able to get the Sick Kid item here.
Another heart piece for his trouble.
Stop handing out your vital organs, kid. All right, he got the big key of Eastern, and he is proceeding through the dungeon. So that means here in a couple of rooms, he will in fact be able. He will in fact acquire the Meyer big key.
So Hitsu is remembering that he had picked up the Skullwood's big key. So he will check that. Well, at some point, I guess he'll check that, given he's in the Dark World, but probably after a ped pull.
So I think Cool Papa Bell was the one who came out of the Skullwoods entrance in the back. Maybe it was Hitsuyan. I don't remember.
I think they both did separately.
Okay. All right. So Cool Papa Bell has theoretically hit go mode, I guess.
Hey, look, there's our book.
And Hitsuyan is about to get jebaited. Oh, the book was in that chest. All right.
Yeah, the book was in the Skullwood's big chest, and as chat Rich says stuff is pointing out, it is certainly not a good item that Hitsu has found, because now this also opens up tablets.
Yep. He's heading to the Dark World. Oh, he's going to go check the Ether medallion entrance.
I guess I'm trying to think if there are other locations that he still needs, or potentially can have still items. Because right now he just needs a key, because he has locations already.
Well, he needs a location that has the key in it. It's the Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I totally forgot that Hitsu.
This is going to take him there. This will connect to the Turtle Rock Bridge. He's going to mirror to it. After he checks this entrance. There we go. Yeah, the only reason I said Turtle Rock Bridge there is because we just hadn't had any other connectors there. It's the last connector on the list. All right, so Hitsuyan picks up the last big key. He's got to go to Desert Palace, finish that off. Cool Papa Bell has to go to Misery Mire and finish that out. I feel like the back of Desert is a faster clear. And yes, Hitsuyan does know where Desert is.
Yeah, in Hitsu's Landmill fight, he will have silvers for, so we'll certainly be a little bit faster than Cool Papa Bell's earlier fight.
Some people are just more comfortable with the Fire Rod version, and it's...
Oh, yeah. You are absolutely correct.
And it can be roughly the same amount of time, given the lag that the silvers cause as well. That being said, I like silvers.
Yeah, and his US butter sword. Like, I mean, he has a multitude of options here.
I mean, with the trouble that Hitsuyan has been having with the Fire Rod today, maybe...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You know, if that's really like the worst part about Hitsu's run, for this seed, we'll probably have to just take it. Looks like he did opt to use silvers here. We'll pick up his compass to swamp, and we'll now pick up his 7th crystal.
Yeah, this is going to be real close.
Yeah, this is going to be really close. No, Ganon, so again with that useless fairy, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. So a quick flute to 2, and or a mirror and a flute to 2, and that'll take care of it for Hitsuyan. Getting creeper bonked. He's not even fluting to 2, he's just going to dash over there. It might be faster doing this. I don't know.
So Cool Papa Bell takes down Vitreous. I'm glad he has 6 silver arrows left for Ganon.
Yep. And at roughly the same time, Hitsuyan drops into the Ganon fight. So, I mean, this is going to be maybe a minute and a half separating the runners at most.
And Hitsuyan here has bread mail, so I think he is probably willing to be a little bit more reckless with these fights. Although he has passed the most dangerous parts.
Why does no one want to flute to 2?
Hitsuyan does not get Torch Glitch, but he has silvers. Yeah, nice triple, looks like. It might have been only been double. He had something earlier, but takes down Ganon. He is 1 bridge cross, separating him from finishing up the seed.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
That, yes, Hitsuyan has finished in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 20 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for Hitsu. This was a very, very, very great race to watch.
Well done. I don't know if he wants to come talk to us or not, but the invitation is open. Otherwise, we'll just sit here in the chat.
We can cheer on Cool Papa Bell here. Also has a very clean Ganon fight, is also just one bridge cross away from finishing up his seed.
And it looks like we are now joined by both the runners. GG to both of you, especially. And Cool Papa Bell just finished on stream, so well played to you as well.
GG's, guys.
That was a insanely close race. Less than a minute separating both runners here.
That was so close. My heart is still pumping.
Yeah, so that the spiral cave entrance kind of evaded you for a while there, Hitsuyan, for that big key for desert. Whereas just going to Ice Palace was Cool Papa Bell's last move.
Yeah, I had almost dipped into Ice Palace for just the Eastern Big Key, for just that first chest, which would have been the Eastern Big Key, like as soon as I found it. But then I was like, not yet. So I don't know how that would have affected things later on.
Well, Hitsuyan did do that, but he still had to go back in at one point to get the other one.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you guys about one thing. So, there was this place where you ran across what was the Hammer Pegs cave with a shield in it. Both of you went in, picked up a rock and threw it, or picked up a pot, threw it, and left. What's going on there?
I was not sure what it is for a moment. So I went...
Oh, did you think it was the 20 rupees? Is that what you thought?
Oh, I only saw something red and went in, and yeah, sometimes you don't realize instantly what's happening when you look on the other monitor. Some stuff that was not planned from me.
I thought there was like some conspiracy, like you're like, no, we're gonna disrespect the shields all day long.
I just couldn't remember if there were rupees under those pots or not, so I had to check.
I wish I had a pot in the spiral cave entrance for the big key to desert.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily something you forgot. It's just that, you know, it's not easy to route in with the rest of Death Mountain because there's just so many different ways to get around there that last, you know, picking out those entrances is just kind of gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had so many checks left to do, and on this position I had, I think, the mirror position to the island left for a possible big key.
Mm-hmm.
Then the lower entrance and Turtle Rock entrance. And all the other stuff was, for me, the same. What I do first, the big key can be everywhere, so I was doing all other stuff first.
Yeah, you went to places where you knew items were, right? Like, you know, right side desert, things like that.
Yeah, I want.
And actually, both of you got to that entrance different ways. So, Cool Papa Bell, you came in from the top, and Hitsuyan actually found the connector to the Dark Bridge and mirrored that way.
Yeah, I saw that on stream. I feel like I maybe did too many entrances and didn't dip those dungeons soon enough. Obviously, I didn't dip Ice Palace soon enough, but that did mean I got the Desert Palace Big Key way ahead of Hitsu. But man, I took forever to get into Ice to get the other big keys that I needed.
Oh, it was such a close race. So I was excited. Let's see. I don't. Do I dare bring up torches right now?
No. What was that, please?
I'm not sure what was going on with the torches in your game, but they just didn't like you today.
In GT, I was sure they have to light now, because I pressed the button. I also saw that the lamp was used, but it don't work. I don't know.
I mean, that's all right. I found Spike Cave, thought, oh, I should do this right now, and then I menued to where the hammer should be, and then just used the lamp on the pegs because I didn't actually have the hammer.
I noticed that. I thought you were just memeing or something.
Yeah, that was it. That was a meme. We'll say that.
Yeah, kind of like trying to light a torch with the cane of Samaria. That also happens.
What was in the Thieves' Town big chest? That was
nobody knows.
No idea.
I was hoping there's
Nobody
not the
knows.
desert big key.
Yeah, because I even did all sorts of save scumming in Hyrule Castle, and then found the sewer key right after that. So I knew where the Thieves' Town small key was, but I was not going back for that anytime soon.
Yeah, we imagined that was going to be basically everybody's last location if it happened, and it didn't. So that's good. Turns out Hitsuyan did find the book, which you never found.
Near the pedestal. That was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on his way to check the pedestal, which he actually did pull, because checking things where there's an item as opposed to random entrances where you don't necessarily know there's an item, right? Sometimes it's just in the one spot you hadn't been to. So between the two of you, we know where basically every entrance was. I mean, nobody saw what was at the actual Ganon's Tower entrance, but I mean, who's going to see that unless it's a connector, right?
Yeah, I was just glad that the vanilla Aga Tower entrance wasn't anything, since I had 0 magic when I mirrored up there. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was another thing we noticed, but it was still generally just an amazing race between the two of you. I'm super happy about it. I feel like I've kind of dominated the microphone here. Clear Mouse, do you have anything you want to say about this? Or ask our runners?
No, I thought you're doing a great job. I mean, certainly I wanted to say GG's Hitsu, GG's Cool Pop Bell. I want to echo Dr. Bob's sentiment here that you guys put on an awesome race. I was certainly not expecting to see a pet pull, so thank you, Hitsu. That was always a nice treat.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I was curious on Cool Papa Bell's side. And maybe you've already kind of went through this earlier, but was there a reason why you chose to do the dungeons towards the end, like Mire first and then Ice, in that order, or because I think you had access to Ice earlier.
Yeah, I probably should have done Ice coming right out of Eastern, since I was right there. I saw that Hitsu had not done the desert main entrance, so I'm guessing that's what he did. And so maybe I should have prioritized dipping Ice rather than Eastern, but I kind of just went Crystal before Pendant, even if you are just dipping into it. So that definitely would have saved me the time in the end, but what can you do?
Yeah, wishful thinking, hoping the big key's in Mire itself instead of having to go into a pendant dungeon. Luckily, there wasn't that much you had to do in Ice.
Yeah, and when I found that Eastern big key, I was sort of thinking to myself, okay, how deep into this am I going to go? I decided I wasn't going to beat Cold Stare, but I was going to do everything else, which is why I didn't hit the switch before I did Icebreaker, but of course I never even got close. So
you also had all the keys, so you could have just made it.
Yeah, could have done dev intended strats through Ice Palace.
Or just go down the stairs and use the cane, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not the dev intended strats. That's blasphemy. But the one thing that did get you was you were able to actually pick up the silvers in the mail in Mire instead of if you'd gone to Ice, you would have go-moded Mire and left everything behind. So you'd had a bit of a harder Ganon fight, at least.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been too bad with Buttersword, and I think I still had a blue pot and a fairy at that point.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a great game from both of our runners. Very exciting for the chat and everything else. But
we gotta wrap it up, don't we?
Yeah, we have a Zelda 2 race starting here in about 15 minutes. So if you're into the rando for Zelda 2, be sure to stick around. We will be back live here shortly. Big thank you to Dr. Bob and Clear Mouse for commentating this great race. Hitsu and Cool Papa Bell, thank you so much for allowing us to restream you. My buddy, I never say it right, Biliberal. Thanks again for co-tracking with me. And be sure to stick around for a lot more fun. And don't forget, we're always looking for volunteers. So head on over to the Crossworld Keysanity Discord, where you can sign up to track or commentate, as we are always looking for more people. So we will see you back tomorrow for more of this exciting tournament. And thank you so much for sticking around. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.